What is up, guys? It is Kenniron here, and you may have heard about this game called Jurassic World Evolution. I keep wanting to call it Jurassic Park because that's what I'm used to. That's the movies I watched as a kid. This whole Jurassic World thing is just confusing. You change it from park to world, and now I can't get it figured out. But anyway, you may have heard about this game, Jurassic Park Evolution. I did it again. You see it? You hear it? I did it again. It's Jurassic World Evolution. So, let me try that again. You may have heard of it, or you might not have, because from what I've seen, the game's not getting a lot of attention, and that's kind of disappointing. It's basically a simulator game set in the Jurassic World universe, and it seems really neat so far. So in this video, I'm going to go through some reasons that you might want to be interested in getting this game. So the initial thing that got me interested in this game was the fact that it's made by Frontier Studios. And if you haven't seen my previous video, or maybe you just don't know, Frontier Studios was the developer of many simulation games from way back when, like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Thrillville. And both Roller Coaster Tycoon and Thrillville are pretty respected in their own rights, and it's interesting to see Frontier handle somebody else's IP. You know, Jurassic World, they don't own that franchise, and previous works that they've done, they did own the, it was their own thing. They did own the properties to it. So it's very interesting to see. It kind of reminds me of Insomniac taking up the helm as the creators of the new Spider-Man game, you know? It's like Insomniac always did their own thing, but then all of a sudden they took on the Spider-Man property. Well, now it's like Frontier's doing the same thing. They always handled their own thing, and now Jurassic World is becoming a part of what they do. And it's very interesting because they have put in the research, they've put in the effort into this game. You can tell it, like, they're very big fans of the franchise, and they put in a lot of Easter eggs in there. They've done their homework, essentially. Another thing worth noting is the depth of the gameplay. There's a lot of things that you can do in this game. You can build like little pathways everywhere. You have to look at the power supply. You have to put up power lines and all that stuff. But then you also build the little tourist attractions. You build the enclosements for the dinosaurs, and you even research different dinosaurs. You send out expedition teams to go dig up fossils, and then they bring back their research to you, and you can build bigger, better dinosaurs. You can do all this stuff. You need to make sure you don't put like herbivores in with carnivores, you know, because they'll get eaten. And there's basically 3 different like big aspects to the park. You have to look at the science behind creating the dinosaurs and everything like that. And then you have to look at the entertainment. How much are your guests going to enjoy, you know, watching these dinosaurs roam around and whatnot. And then you also have to look at the safety, the security. You know, you have to take safety measures to make sure fences work. You have to, you can actually go in and shoot down, like, dinosaurs with tranquilizers. And it's very interesting. You know, they thought of just about everything in this game. The way you progress through the story is basically by completing contracts by all 3 of the aforementioned groups. So science, entertainment, and the safety, or whatever they're calling it, security I think is what it's called. So you have to complete all these contracts, and the game offers you to lean towards one of them. So you can lean towards science, entertainment, or safety, but you also have to keep the other ones happy. It's kind of a neat little balancing act that you're doing, and it adds a lot of depth to the game. You know, you're not just looking at dinosaurs roam around. You're not like just having them fight each other or whatever you're doing with them. You're actually having to manage a lot of stuff, and then, as I mentioned earlier, you have to send out expedition teams to go get these fossils and dig them up and whatnot, and then you use those fossils to create DNA to create other dinosaurs. But what's interesting is that you can change the dinosaurs however you like. You can throw in animal DNA like they did in the movies, where they said like they threw in like fish DNA for the Indominus Rex or something, and then you can do that in this game. You can add in like bat DNA, you can add in reptile DNA like lizards and stuff, you can add in bird DNA, fish DNA. You can add in so much stuff to make the dinosaur just a bit different, and that's actually pretty amazing to me. I never even thought of that as being a game mechanic. Like when I first heard of this game, I was like, oh cool, it'll kind of be like Thrillville, kind of not, but like with the whole aspect of the science behind it and putting in your own DNA and changing the dinosaurs, when I heard of that, I was like, whoa, like this game, this is something I've got to at least check out at some point. Another interesting thing about the gameplay is that it switches between like an overhead view and like a third or first person point of view. I can't remember if it's third or first. You might can switch it, but I don't know. But it's like for the big management process, you're doing an overhead view. You're just doing whatever you do, and then if you need to go like switch out the feeders or something for the dinosaurs, you can like get in a little rover, which I'm pretty sure is that little ball thing from Jurassic World, the first one, and you can get in that thing and you can go switch out the feeders like on your own, like in person. You don't have to go. Now you can also go and like set them to automatically like refill, but if you want a little change of pace, just get in a little rover, go change it yourself, quit being lazy. And then you can also go and hunt down the dinosaurs, like I said before. If they break loose, you go with some tranquilizers and you go hunt them down in a little helicopter. And that's pretty neat. I also like how much it ties into the universe of Jurassic World, because it's like it takes place on one of the islands from the third movie. So like the third movie was on an island, but this game you go between different parks, and each park is on its own separate island. I think it's like the 5 Islands of Death or something. And you'll eventually get to the island that's from the third game, and it's a nice little Easter egg. And then another major thing is that Jeff Goldblum is coming back as Dr. Malcolm, and that's very interesting. It's like they even set up a little backstory for him. It's like he didn't like the genetic research on the dinosaurs, but he couldn't stop them from doing it. So he's trying to help them out so they don't do it wrong. And I don't know, that's pretty interesting. I like that Jeff Goldblum is coming back, and I mean, I just like Jeff Goldblum in general. Like, he's pretty cool. And in the game, you also have to watch out for anything that could go wrong. Like, there is a lot of stuff between like the weather, like a power failure or something, to just dinosaurs just chewing through the wire, like, or the fences or whatever. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. I think the Game Informer article even mentioned something about like corporate sabotage, where like an employee or something will try to get at the company by letting them free. And another interesting thing is that once they run free, it's actually fun to see them go trampling through crowds and eating people. Like, that is a very real thing. It's like, even though, you worked really hard to build your park up to where it's at, even though you worked really hard and you worked for probably hours or whatever, however long you worked, you still have fun watching them destroy everything you've built, because it's freaking dinosaurs. You're not going to get mad if some T-Rex goes stomping about, because it's just really cool. You got to go hunt the thing down, yeah, but like, it's a T-Rex, and it's hunting down, or no, you're hunting it down, but it's just trampling through crowds. You have a little diner built up beside the Tyrannosaurus Rex exhibit. It's going to go running through the diner, and then the people will become the food. To me, the game just sounds overall really good. I don't think it's going to be anything like a super big masterpiece or anything, but it's definitely a game that I think, most people, or at least fans of Jurassic World, should definitely check down. I need to speak today and speak good. But anyway, it's definitely a game that I think a lot of people, especially Jurassic World fans, should go check out. So just to summarize everything that I said in this video with just a bunch of bullet points or whatever, just a nice organized list of reasons to get excited for this game. So, it's developed by Frontier Studios. They're pretty good company. They make some good stuff, right? There's a lot of depth in the game, and the gameplay is like very in depth and whatnot. And then it also ties into the Jurassic World universe, which is very nice. And then the switch between overhead and the ground perspective. So like, the third person, you're just above everything, kind of managing. And then you can also be like boots on the ground. You can be walking around through it, or whatever you can do. And then another thing is it's fun even when things go wrong. So dinosaurs break out, and it's still a blast to watch and play everything out. And the last reason, and probably the most important reason, is Jeff Goldblum. That's it. That's all I got for you fellas. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you, are more compelled to check this game out. So that's it. That's all I got. Have a nice day. And Kenniron out.